What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So I've done two different test runs with some teams against the Super Boss Kizuna Clash. So I'm going to show you guys my initial teams that I have for this event. At this current point in time, of course, it's very early days. People are still trying to figure out the most optimal ways to actually get through this boss. But I want to show you guys the teams that I've currently got that are getting through this boss currently. And they should last for a little while at least. But of course, as you get deeper into this event, the boss's HPs do scale exponentially, so it is going to be it's going to get to a point where you just can't beat it anymore. And of course, damage cap is still going to be a thing. People are going to be able to reach, you know, 1 trillion damage in this Kizuna. I have no doubts in my mind that people will be able to do it, and the new units are definitely going to be helping with that. So let's go ahead and jump into the Dex Super Boss. We'll show both Super Bosses in this video today. This is the team that I am currently running. I probably should actually get the right friend captain, but for this one we are using all three of the New Year's characters. They help a lot in this one. We don't actually need to do, we can just go ahead and do this one right here. So with this, obviously the higher levels of Super Tandems and Rush is going to be more beneficial to your squad. Ideally, Sabo's Super Tandem is better for this specifically, but we can definitely still abuse the Super Tandem ability of Zoro and Sanji to get lots of additional damage as well, because, you know, we've got a lot of free spirit units on this team, and we're not going to be actually transforming everyone into Slasher and free spirit because we don't have those abilities fulfilled for this squad. The reason why we're running it in this specific way is because we want to use this quick Luffy on the team. Main reason for that is because of the slot change that he has and the ability to remove special bind, which is what you have to deal with on stage 2. So let's just jump into it and we'll run it. I do got a little bit of a breakdown here, like I wrote down exactly what I did to get through this. It's kind of important that we have that so we know exactly what's going on. Now, Zoro and Sanji are not, like, really required for this team, per se. Like, they're really not. But they're just kind of, like, the last unit position that I really didn't know what to put in this spot. And the main reason why I did it was not only just because their Super Tandem can allow the Strength Luffy friend captain to hit really hard once we get to that 6th tap. But also their special ability does buff attack and orb boost, which I guess is kind of nice. So it's not a terrible unit to put on the squad. Plus, it does help with damage on stage 2 as well. Okay, so for this, we really don't need to do anything for the first turn. We can just go ahead and blast through it. We don't need any specific slots or anything, so don't need to do any stall. Stage 2 against Lindbergh, so the Dex Super Boss does have a Dex mini boss on stage 2. Sabo removes the Despair. We're also inflicted with Hunger, which both Luffy's on the team can remove, so that's not an issue at all. And then the 5 turns of Special Bind. So of course Sabo does remove Special Bind, but we want to save his special for the final stage. So we're going to go ahead and use the Super Switch of Zoro and Sanji, which of course generates a full board of tandem slots and gives us the attack and orb boost. I think it's like 2.25 attack and orb boost, or 2.5 times attack and orb boost, whatever it is. And then at this point, we can go ahead and use the special ability of the Quick Luffy. So this unit will remove the special bind. It gives us rainbow slots as well. The rainbow slots are important too, because the enemy on the final stage has a really annoying effect where they take less damage from specific slots. So with this structure, we are able to generate these rainbow slots and keep them so that we can actually abuse their damage in the final stage. And because of the Jinbei support, we're able to lock some of these slots. We want to keep these slots, of course, so we're going to go ahead and just do that. We'll final tap with Luffy, with the Strength Luffy, and should be able to get through this without too many issues. Of course, with the Super Tandem of Zoro and Sanji triggering too, that does give us quite a lot of additional damage. No issues there on stage 2. Okay, so now we get to the nitty gritty. So the New Year's characters are a little complex in terms of their design. Of course, like, they have like abilities, but then if you have other effects activated during the time you launch their special, they get like additional effects. Like Whitebeard and Ace, for example, they're able to get a massive chain addition. Sabo can get chain multiplicative buff, and then like Luffy can actually like get his conditional boost as well as granting the increased damage taken on the opponent. First things first, let's go ahead and use the Robin special, which is going to give us the double stacking conditional boost effect. It's been a while actually since I've used Robin in a Super Boss sense, so it is actually nice that we get to use her again, and she's really, really powerful. Definitely one of the better legends in the game to have. Really, really nice unit to have. So by this, we get the defense down conditional boost. It is only a 2.25 times conditional boost, but being able to provide double stacking conditional boost is really, really good. Then we're going to go ahead and use the switch ability of Whitebeard and Ace, which is going to transform them into their dual form. And then it does allow us to use their EX Super. Now, activating all of your New Year's characters' EX Supers before activating the specials is the most important thing. So you can see that this effect gives us a base attack boost. Then when we activate Sabo's effect, it actually magnifies our base attack boosts by 1.5 times. So this is really nice here. So the base attack boost from the Whitebeard and Ace is actually going to be amplified here. And of course, Elgato is going to be cutting out, which is not fun. And then from here, we can activate the EX Super of Luffy, because now we've actually got his ability to transform into Gear 5. And then this effect will give us the weakened status, and it gives us the amount of turns. I think it's like 5 turns of tap timing bonus damage. And then Sabo also gives us the end of turn healing. So now we have all these additional effects activated. So then when we activate our Whitebeard and Ace, our Sabo, and our Luffy, we get all of the damage bonuses from them, which is really, really good. So he removes the attack down, gives us a really good attack boost. Sabo also gives us an orb boost too, which is kind of nice. We're going to activate Sabo's special here. And of course, it is an action special, so we do actually want to perform well with the action special so we can get the highest possible damage from it. So Sabo with this action special is going to be giving us the class advantageous effect, which gives us a lot of additional damage. Like, we talk about Sabo being probably like not really that great in terms of what his special actually does offensively, but in this use case, because of the weakness class in the game, this is where things go crazy. And then of course Luffy, when we activate his action special, we're going to get the 3 times increased damage taken, but because we have the 10 turns of end of turn healing from Sabo's EX Super, that will also grant us the ability to get a 3 times conditional boost against characters that are inflicted with increased damage taken, which he activates with his special. So this works out perfectly for us, giving us so much damage. We don't need to worry about color affinity because type effects are turned off. And I mean, we can just activate the Zoro effect here. Like, there's no real reason not to, I guess. And just activate their special ability, which will give us the buffed attack and orb boost. And then from here, we can do some damage. So we want to use the rush of Whitebeard and Ace first. We'll use the super tandem ability of Zoro and Sanji. So we'll go like Whitebeard and Ace, Quick Luffy, Zoro, Robin, Sabo, and Luffy. But we're going to have so much damage, it's not even going to matter. So, all right, let's see how much damage we can do just with the rush. Only got 3 taps in with the rush, but this is just 1 tap pretty much. And how much damage do we get out of that? 48.3 billion, which is crazy, right? That's so much goddamn damage, man. It's crazy. It's so much damage. So I'm really excited to see what the damage potential of this team actually is. It's definitely got a high ceiling. And this is only at level 1 rush, so if you even pulled like more copies of that character of Whitebeard and Ace, like the damage only goes up from there. And we didn't even activate a super tandem ability and then Luffy's final tap. Things could get really crazy. So we're going to move on to the next super boss versus the strength variation. Now this one I think is going to be the more difficult of the two. There isn't like a clear-cut, like really optimal way to get through this. However, the Donsai and Leo does kind of work pretty well because there is bind on multiple stages, which he can just remove with his captain ability. Now for this squad here, we're going to be using Whitebeard and Ace as our captain because there is limit special uses on both versions of Stage 2, Stage 3. So it definitely feels like that they're forcing you to kind of use this team composition with Whitebeard and Ace and Donsai and Leo. As for the rest of the units, I guess we'll kind of talk about it as we go along, but like I'm not completely happy with this team, but it does do pretty good damage, so I'll show it off anyway, but this one could definitely be improved. One of the things that you could really improve with this team, I'm not really too sure how to implement it, but it actually worked out perfectly for us here. The reason why I'm saying this is because of the way that Donsai and Leo work. Now the thing is we would love to get their second special activation ready, but the only way they can get that to happen is if they have a rainbow slot, you launch their special, and it will reduce their own cooldown by 13 turns. So we got lucky in this case because they do have a rainbow slot, so what we want to do is we want to keep that rainbow slot for as long as possible. We don't really need rainbow slots on anybody else. And then on stage 2 here, we have the Ivankov. So Ivankov does like a lot of different things, and this is why Jinbei is on the team because of his ability here. So we're inflicted with limit special uses. We also are inflicted with bind, but of course Donsai and Leo remove that, and it changes it into a damage reduction instead. And then from here, we can activate the Jinbei special ability. So Jinbei will go ahead and remove the rainbow shield off of the opponent, and it also inflicts them with a weakened status, which is really strong. And then we're going to activate the Donsai and Leo special ability. So this will give us an attack boost, it gives us a chain boundary, it gives us more than enough damage for this fight. And then because he has a rainbow slot, we actually get the special pretty much back ready to go. So this is going to be fantastic for us because it means that we can activate their second special, which will activate Advantageous Class Effect, which is the same effect as what the New Year's Legend Sabo does, but for this time it's going to be for Powerhouse and Strikers, which works perfectly with our team composition. Okay, we don't really need the Rainbow slot anymore, so we are going to go ahead and try and get rid of that. Let's go ahead and do that. Boom, there we go. Awesome. Move on to the final stage, and we are ready to do some crazy damage. So the Strength Kuma this time around, this guy does a bunch of different stuff, but the main thing as to why this fight is so much more annoying is what the enemy has on their side of the field. So you can see above their health bar, they have this buff here, so they take less damage from certain slots. And if you have a look at which slots that they actually take less damage from, it's really annoying, right? So you got similar slots, tandem slots, strength, dex, quick, rainbow, Wano, and then back to similar. So basically what you want to do is you want to have slots that are psi, int, or recovery. Those are the three slots that come to mind that will actually do good damage against this. And we're trying to build for Powerhouse as well because of the weakness class effect. So the character that comes to mind straight away is 10th Anniversary Luffy, because he has the really unique effect to generate the full board of int, and then they can't be changed unless if they're changed to a tandem slot. And this is still kind of good because we can still generate a tandem slot to activate a super tandem with Roger and all of his abilities. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and use the switch ability of Whitebeard and Ace first to transform them into their dual unit. Unfortunately, we don't get their EX super, which is a bit of a downside. We'll activate the special ability of Whitebeard and Ace, which grants us a very strong attack boost. And then it does remove the attack down as well. Those are the two key components. And it does also give us the territory buff. And because we have a full team of Powerhouse, we actually get the full optimization of that, which is great. From this point onwards, we can activate our Monkey D. Luffy special. It is important that we activate the Luffy special before we activate S-Snake. Now, S-Snake is not required for this team to function, but S-Snake is such a good addition to this team, obviously because she is Powerhouse. But the enemy actually has the ability where they have an immunity, but you're allowed to inflict them with a weakened status. And S-Snake is a character that I've really never ever used, really. But really good use case for this piece of content here specifically, because her special ability inflicts weakness, and then if a Luffy or a Hancock activated their special in the same turn before activating S-Snake, it will inflict the enemy with increased damage taken that goes through immunity. So simultaneously activating increased damage taken and a weakness buff is pretty strong and hard to replace in a lot of cases. Like, this is a really powerful ability that she can do. So that grants so much additional damage just because of her special ability alone. And then, as we mentioned, we want to activate the special ability of Donsai and Leo, which is going to give us the advantageous class effect for our Powerhouse and Striker characters. So, again, a lot of additional damage. And then we can activate the special ability of Roger, which will give him a tandem slot, so we can actually trigger Super Tandem. It also gives us an orb boosting effect. And then, of course, we can activate the Super Class Striker as well, just for a little bit of additional damage, nothing really too crazy. And I don't really know what the most optimal way to do these taps are, but either way, this is going to do a ton of damage. So let's trigger the Super Tandem, and then we'll just tap with Whitebeard and Ace, I suppose. Boom. And then trigger Super Tandem, and then we can do the rush with Luffy as the final tap because of the way the 10th Anniversary Luffy works. So the 6th tap with that rush of into Luffy would do crazy damage here. Alright, let's see how much we get. Boom. That was actually pretty good. 39 billion. Pretty good. So both teams have high potential for sure. So again, these are just my initial teams for the Super Boss Kizuna at the moment. They're not completely optimal for sure, and I know that these are not the most accessible teams out there, but hey, this is what I've come up with thus far that's able to do pretty good damage against these super bosses. So that's what we have. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video though, breaking down these super bosses, showing you guys what I got. And as things progress throughout the super boss Kizuna, I'll likely bring you guys some more updates in regards to it. But anyways, gonna wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for watching the video. Really hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. And that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.